Mr. Smith, welcome to Chisinau.
Thank you.
I would like first of all to thank you for this discussion. It's a pleasure for me and it's an honor for TV8.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
So I propose to start this interview with the question regarding the current situation in our region. What do you think, what new security risks have emerged after 2 years of Russian aggression on Ukraine?
Well, we just marked 2 years of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, but of course it started 10 years ago when Russia seized Crimea and invaded the Donbass. And the security implications that have emerged over the last 2 years are important and bear direct threats not just for Ukraine, but for Europe, for the global rules-based order, and of course here in Moldova. The United States has been working closely and carefully with our Moldovan partners to do everything that we can to mitigate the security implications, both in terms of our strategic policy engagement, but also assistance resources that we've provided to Moldova, of which just over the last 2 years, we have provided $70 million in military assistance and another $30 million designed to help with border security issues.
How does the United States evaluate the tension in Transnistria, and what are US thoughts about the desire of separatist authorities of Transnistria to become a part of Russia?
Well, the United States continues to support Moldova's territorial sovereignty and its territorial integrity. We have a decades-long commitment to Moldova on that front. We also, of course, support a peaceful settlement of the conflict. And we remain focused on both Tiraspol and Chisinau's focus on practical steps to deal with practical issues. And we will continue to support all efforts that maintain stability and do not escalate tensions.
And how about the support for Ukraine? Why is it taking so long for US to grant new financial and military support for Kiev?
Since the beginning of the war, the United States has provided $75 billion in military, economic, and humanitarian assistance, and our commitment to Ukraine and helping provide them the tools to win the war remains rock solid. We have been working now with Congress to appropriate additional funds, which are designed to help Ukraine continue to defend its territory and advance its military, economic, and security objectives.
Exist some tensions in Congress?
There's always a debate between Congress and the executive branch whenever we're seeking an appropriation. We continue to maintain very close negotiations and talks with Congress. We were very encouraged when earlier this month the Senate passed the President's supplemental appropriation request with a very strong bipartisan majority, and we continue to engage now with the House of Representatives.
The new security strategy in Black Sea, what are the decisions factor? And if this strategy is important for Moldova?
It's critically important for all Black Sea nations and partners, including Moldova. Russia's invasion and full-scale attacks on Ukraine presented unique security challenges to the region, some of which were mediated and mitigated by Ukraine's very successful campaign, maritime campaign, to push the Russian Black Sea fleet back. By some estimates, this campaign has been so successful that it has sunk or severely damaged 20% of Russia's Black Sea fleet. That's important for military reasons. It's also important for economic reasons. Because the Ukrainians were successful in holding Crimea at risk and pushing the Black Sea fleet back into the eastern Black Sea, it allowed Ukraine to open its deep sea ports in Odessa. This has generated economic potential and has unlocked trade and transportation links, which are vital to rebuilding the Ukrainian economy. Likewise, Moldova has played a critical role in helping Ukraine diversify export routes, including overland through Moldova, but also working carefully and closely on the Danube River ports, which has been a huge force multiplier for Ukraine's ability to continue export, while also increasing economic interconnectedness between Moldova, Romania, and Ukraine, which is benefiting all three countries.
Let's talk about the hybrid attacks. How does the US assess Moldova's readiness to counter hybrid attacks launched by Russia?
We've been consistently impressed with Moldova's ability to counter a series of hybrid attacks, particularly designed around interfering with electoral processes. We've done our part in terms of providing policy support and assistance to help the key agencies that are involved with these processes. We've also taken very tough measures to sanction those who act as agents of influence for the Kremlin, most recently in the last few days with Mrs. Tauber.
Yeah, the United States recently imposed sanctions on individuals from the circle of oligarch Elon Shore. Can these sanctions convince our society that fugitive oligarchs are not promoting the democracy in our country?
I hope that they are interpreted that way. I think it's really important for both the United States and our partners here in Moldova to talk about what the key elements of a democracy and the key elements of free and fair electoral processes must include and must defend against. And one of the key things they need to defend against is malign influence from Russia. The sanctions measure that we took is the beginning, not the end of our measures, and we will continue to take those steps as necessary to help Moldova protect its democratic elections.
The dissensions in Moldovan society regarding the importance of aid from the Western partners. How dangerous are these dissensions, and if pro-Russian voices could use them to their advantage?
The United States, since Moldova's independence, has provided over $2.5 billion of assistance. Just in the last 2 years, recognizing the unique challenges and threats emanating from Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, we've provided $774 million in security assistance, economic assistance, and humanitarian assistance. We will continue to partner closely with Moldova to ensure that our assistance is meeting the needs of the people of Moldova as you develop your course into the European Union, and we do all we can, both in terms of our strategic engagement, our strategic messaging, but also, of course, our assistance to ensure that your process to the EU becomes inevitable.
And how can Moldova's media contribute to countering the lies left by Kremlin?
I think media, objective reporting in a free and fair media environment is absolutely essential. As we say, the best way to disinfect disinformation is by providing sunshine, is opening up the truth and providing access to information. You all have a critical role, and your television network is playing a critical role in ensuring that the truth is what Moldovans have to use when they're deciding how they want to pursue their country's development and their foreign policy future.
If you have a discussion with our president, Maia Sandu, can we tell something about this discussion?
We had a great discussion today, and it was a chance to reaffirm our partnership, to talk about how we're working together along a common agenda, and to ensure and to underscore from my leadership back in Washington our strong support for Moldova's European future.
And at the last of the interview, you can tell something for our people, for our auditory.
Yes, well, it's a wonderful opportunity for me to be here. I've really enjoyed my time here on the ground in Moldova. I've had a great series of meetings, which for me have really reinforced how broad and deep our strategic partnership has become. And it's a reminder that when we work together, we can meet challenges, no matter how large and no matter how complex.
Thank you for this interview, and I swear that we will meet again in Chisinau.
Я уверен, и я жду.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Bye-bye.